Me noho tātou, please be seated. Ko te tangi a te pipi wharauroa, kui, whiti ora. Whiti ki runga, whiti ki raro, whiti ki te whai o ki te ao marama, ti hei mauri ora. Nō reiri te tuatahi ka mihi atu au ki o tātai tini aitua. Rātou kua whiturangitia, kua whakamaungiti I rungi te whenua nei. Nō reire, teke ana kia mihi atu ki rātou, aha koa kua ngaro rātou, ka u ka mautonu ki te pua te hene ngaro. Nō reira haere, noho mai rātarangi Māria. Ka huri au ki te ao tangata nei kia tātou katoa, kei konei. Koutou ngā manu hiri tuarangi no tui I te Moananui a Kiwa. Haere mai, piki mai, kake mai rā, ki te wā tēnei kia whakanui ai ngā akonga kei mui a tātou. Nō reira, koutou ngā manuhiri, tēnā koutou haere mai. Haere mai koutou hoki ngā whanaunga me ngā iwi katoa I rungi I tika Māui. Haere mai ki te waka Māui, ki te wai Pounamu, ki te taia Mahanui. Haere mai I rungi te karanga tūpuna e tuana ki uta. Me te karanga a Ngātarua hiki hiki. Piki mai rā, kake mai rā. Nō reira, ka huri au ki a koutou ngā akonga. He mihi tēnei ki a koutou mō tō koutou mahi waua. Nō reira, tēnā rā koutou katoa. On behalf of Ngāi Tahu, first of all, welcome to everyone, and in particular our international visitors who have come from overseas to celebrate and to congratulate their members of their families here today who are graduating. So to you all, welcome. And to those families who have come right throughout the South Island and from the North Island, welcome. Welcome on behalf of Ngāi Tahu and the University of Canterbury. Our ancestors who stand on the inland, our mountains, welcome you as well. And today's a day for celebration and to congratulate our students. So, piki te ora, piki te kaha, piki te maramatanga.
Manu tiria, manu erohia, ki te poho te raka, kato re, kato mai I te ruhi, e tau e koia. Koia, ko tararariki, ki mai I Maui, e hara I te whitu, me te waru e tau e koia.
Nō reira, kia tautarangi Māria me te aroha no ki rungi a koutou katoa.
Katangi ti, katangi ti kaka, katangi huki ahau, ti hai moriora, rauranga ti rama. No mai, piki mai, hari mai, ka te whare wananga o Waitaha. No reira, tina koutou, kia ora tatou katoa. I welcome you to the University of Canterbury and invite all present to stand, remove trenches, and join in signing the Māori and English versions of the first verse of the National Anthem, as in your program and displayed on the screens behind me. seated. It is a pleasure for me as Acting Chancellor of the University of Canterbury to welcome you to this graduation ceremony. Usually as Pro-Chancellor, I'm sitting in one of the seats behind me, so it is with real joy that I'm able to greet you and congratulate the graduands on a day that is very special for you, your families and friends. 2014 marked close of one of the most significant chapters in UC's over 140-year history. By Christmas and into the new year, we had put behind us the post-earthquake period of first uncertainty, then stabilisation, followed by forward planning in exchange for the times to come of consolidating progress, ramping up activities, and realising the opportunities for transformation presented to us by natural disaster. Our most important achievement was, through a series of intensively negotiated outcomes, to have regained control of our destiny, which is back in our own hands. The impact on all of us and the institution itself has been overwhelmingly positive. Challenges which once seemed simply daunting now offer tantalising glimpses of the new university we all worked so hard to conceive. The two most important milestones along the way have been the conclusion of a funding agreement with our principal stakeholder, the New Zealand Government, allowing the receipt of the first 100 million slice of the new investment in our UC Futures program, and a negotiated settlement for 550 million of the university's earthquake-related insurance claims. Individually, each of these outcomes was sizable and significant. Taken together, they are game-changing. Visible signs of this to watch out for are progress with the rolling rebuild of our engineering precinct as Canterbury Engineering the Future, with work under the main 143 million contract advancing well, and the construction of our $213 million Greenfields Regional Science and Innovation Centre, with the contract let and the building of the first and major component, the massive building is named after our alumnus Ernest Lord Rutherford, starting this month. In the meantime, work continues apace on the less tangible, in some ways more important and even more challenging dimensions to the UC Futures program, notably that relating to the refining and implementation of our new graduate profile. The goal itself remains constant: to do our utmost to attract, retain and grow great talent as we continue to build our world-class university. All of our graduates here today are living proof of our degree of success so far. So much for the future. Today is a time for celebration and congratulations to our graduands. It is a time to acknowledge your talents, your commitment to the goals you set yourselves, and the disciplines you imposed on yourselves, in most cases years ago. This is the time to celebrate not only your hard work, but also your resilience, because a university qualification, as we all know, does not come easily. This is an occasion our graduands will remember for the rest of their lives. I hope they will remind themselves from time to time of the setbacks, disappointments, and doubts they overcame to be here, to graduate with us today. Our special admiration goes to those graduands who found ways to manage the competing demands of study, family life, and a working career. We particularly acknowledge those for whom university once seemed a daunting prospect, something out of reach, an impossible dream. Perhaps this was because of a disability, because they had tried once and failed, because they had not studied for many years, because English was not their first language, or simply because they were the first in the generations in their family down all the centuries to have had both the opportunity and the desire to go to university. It is time too to acknowledge and thank the two most important contributors to the success of our graduands, the university faculty, those lecturers, tutors and support staff who gave so freely of their knowledge and time, and those family members, whānau and friends who have supported those graduating today. They offered practical help and encouragement in times of stress and doubt. They became part of your eventual success. Let us note as a community and as a nation how much we will benefit from the success of our graduands. They will contribute through their knowledge to the latest thinking and research in their fields. They take into our community the ability to reason at an advanced level. Many will become leaders in their professions. All will work in the service of humanity. Many will go beyond our shores. I know that whatever they choose to do and wherever they settle, they will use their new skills to contribute to a better world. Wherever they live and work, today's graduates will become University of Canterbury alumni. They'll become part of a community of scholars well in excess of 100,000 strong, and of a mutually supportive global network. We look forward to maintaining contact with them and welcoming them back home from wherever they are, whenever they choose to come. It is time now for me to say the words which under law give effect to the highlight of our celebration today. As each of our graduands comes forward, let us call to mind their work, their commitment and their determination which have led to this, their very special moment today. And let each graduate reflect on just how important and special their own achievement is. In graduating today, you confirm that you chose to come here and to stay in a post-earthquake environment with all its special challenges. You have earned your place in the latest of successive UC post-earthquake cohorts, known for strength, courage and determination, and at the same time compassion and caring for each other and the wider community. From today, your membership of your cohort will distinguish you, shape you and sustain your life. I now convene a ceremony of the University of Canterbury for the conferment of degrees and the receipt of diplomas. In the name of the University of Canterbury, I, Susan Mary Anna McCormick, Acting Chancellor, now confer degrees in this university upon those who are about to be presented. I call upon the Vice-Chancellor, Dr. Rod Carr, to introduce those who will present the graduands.
I now call upon the Associate Dean of Postgraduate Research, Professor John Harding, to present the doctoral graduands.
Madam, I have the honour to present these graduands for the conferment of degrees and receipt of diplomas. Doctors of Philosophy and postgraduate diplomas in Science with Merit. Anisha Diaram in Microbiology. Simona Jupp Kranberger in Microbiology. Doctors of Philosophy, Ibrahim Ali Al-Kahadi in Geography. Jin Bong Hong in Computer Science. Muhammad Hassan Nazir in Physics. Angela Elizabeth Newton in Biochemistry. Thomas Russell Robinson in Hazard and Disaster Management. Donna Lee Sutherland in Environmental Science. Akshita Wasan in Biochemistry. Rahama Yunus in Chemistry.
I now call upon the Dean of the Faculty of Science, Associate Professor Catherine Moran, to present the graduands in her faculty.
Madam, I have the honour to present these graduands for the conferment of degrees and the receipt of diplomas. Masters of Science with Distinction, James Thomas Eagle. Elora Marie Kay. Stephanie Ann Mercer. Yvonne Teresa Nicole Rug. Kaylee Ann Ermson. Masters of Science with First Class Honors, Cameron Michael Asher. Ronan Charles Broad. Letitia Haley Gilmore. Nicola Jane Hancock. Ting Huang. Tessa Louise Jameson. Emily Susan Lambie. Delphine Marjoshi. Kim Quinn Nguyen. Mohammed Hassan Othman. Fleur Carolyn Pawsey. Joanna Frances Pawson. Stella Cara Saib. Matilda Page Sheridan. Robin Ann White. Noel Anthony Wynn. Masters of Science with First Class Honors and Postgraduate Diplomas in Child and Family Psychology, Jessica Marie Caldwell. Melinda Claire McPherson. Master of Science with Second Class Honors, Division I, and postgraduate diploma in child and family psychology. Lana Elizabeth Shackleton. Masters of Science with Second Class Honors, Division 1. Catherine Elizabeth Bolton. Hui Yin Chua. Emma Catherine Dorsey. Clem Alexander Malloy Gibbons. Shin Lee. Amelia Prudence Nickel. Beth Justina Wykern. Masters of Science with Second Class Honors, Division 2. Zania Yusti Aninja. Anna Igorevna Didju. Matthew David James. Ru Wayne Toyama. Masters of Science. Alina Chubranovska. Gina Josephine Vetteretti. Mark James Walker. Postgraduate Diploma in Clinical Psychology with Distinction and Master of Arts with Distinction. Lila Michelle Anastasia Marie. Postgraduate Diplomas in Clinical Psychology and Masters of Arts with Distinction. Ellen Jessica Soule. Charlotte Alicia Renniff. Postgraduate Diploma in Clinical Psychology and Master of Science with First Class Honors. Hayden Benjamin McKendry. Postgraduate Diplomas in Clinical Psychology. Hannah Virginia Caroline Blakely. Rosemary Victoria Carson. Lucy Patricia Gilmore. Hannah Joy Moss. Stephanie Ann Snelson. Postgraduate Diplomas in Engineering Geology with Distinction. Jeremy John McAllister, Senior Scholar. Federico Banzon de la Peña. Benjamin Luke Tasker. Postgraduate Diplomas in Geographic Information Science with Distinction. Paul Donald Goodhue. Andrew David Harley Kerr. Postgraduate Diploma in Science with Distinction. Sarah Jane Saxon. Postgraduate Diploma in Science with Merit, Jin Kwang Hong. Postgraduate Diploma in Science, Tanya Ellen Kapinga. Postgraduate Diploma in Water Resource Management, Valerie May McMillan. Bachelor of Science with First Class Honors and Bachelor of Music, Carlene Bucker. Bachelors of Science with First Class Honors, Lawrence Howe Dam, Senior Scholar. Laura Rachel Keir, Senior Scholar. Sarah Page Aldridge. Samuel Harold Creed. Hadley Robert Douglas Frost. Michael Philip Hackney. Heather Lee Humphrey Taylor. Samuel Anton Jarman. Georgina Ann Kirk. Alexandra Rose McNeil. Dylan Neil Patterson. Serena Ann Jenkin Watkin. Bachelors of Science with Second Class Honors, Division I, Corey Ross Barnard. Heather Rose Giles. Bachelor of Science and Bachelor of Commerce, Jonathan Ihaka Forsyth Nabs. Bachelor of Science and Diploma in Japanese Language, Jonathan Shane Foster Glassy. Bachelors of Science, Jack Edwin Aitken. Megan Coral Anderson. Emma Brittany Barr. Philippa Audrey Beechan. Francis Roger Bellina. Brittany Rose Benenbrook. Louis William James Black. Simeon David Booth. Marion Phyllis Brennan. David Florian Brockerhoff. Cole Richard Brown. Christopher Joseph Bryant. Hannah Lucy Campbell. Allison Louise Carley. Chao-Shin Chow. Yun-Hee Choi. James Gregory Clark. Hamish Sean Cleland. Philippa Kate Connell. Christopher James Conway. Jude Laurie Cooper. Jared Desmond Charles Corbin. Rebecca Lee Isla Craik. Sam Robert Kenny Joel Davidson. Andrea Mary Lola Davies. Elizabeth Amy Evelyn Dewing. Rachel Ann Duncan. Susanna Rachel Dunham. Oliver Frederick Eaton. Catherine Philippa Edwards. Marie Patricia Clementine Eugene. William Nicholas Finnis. Robert Derek Fletcher. Hamish Michael Foy. Miko Benjamin Franzmeyer. Gareth Adam Fraser. Ben Robert Fryer.
Good morning. Acclaimed as one of New Zealand's finest pianistic talents, 20-year-old Stephen Watson began studying piano at the age of 4. From an early age, his playing has been praised for its extraordinary sensitivity and charm. After gaining the Licentiate of Music New Zealand diploma with distinction at 14 years of age, he began studying at the University of Canterbury with renowned German pianist Professor Michael Endres. He completed the requirements for a Bachelor of Music degree at the age of 18. Stephen's brilliant academic record saw him receive numerous awards throughout his university career, including 6 prizes and 7 scholarships. His passion for performance has seen him perform as a soloist and accompanist in many concerts, as well as accompanying notable violinist Professor Natalia Lemiko and performing for the visit of the former President of Poland. He also appeared playing Liszt's Piano Concerto No. 2 with the Christchurch Symphony Orchestra. Stephen is a Fellow of the Royal Schools of Music, having been awarded the respective diploma with distinction. Stephen believes that music is a gift from God and hopes to study further and pursue a career as a concert pianist. Today, Stephen will perform two pieces. The first is Intermezzo number 2 in A major, opus 118, by Johannes Brahms. Brahms composed the set of piano pieces, opus 118, at the end of a long career writing piano music in 1893. They are among the most loved of his works and are profound expressions of consummate mastery. This intermezzo in Dante Teneramenti is introspective and hauntingly beautiful. In a simple ternary form, it combines childlike innocence with fervent emotion. The second piece that Stephen will perform is Polonaise in A-flat, opus 53, also known as Heroic, composed by Frédéric Chopin in 1842. The title Heroic was not officially sanctioned by Chopin, but musicians have continued to use this title. It is not at all inept, however, and probably stems from the reaction with which Amantine Lucille Aurora Dupin, alias George Sand, Chopin's beloved, received it, writing, "The inspiration, the strength, the vigour. There is no doubt that such a spirit must be present in the French Revolution. From now on, this Polonaise should be a symbol of heroicness." Chopin was fiercely nationalistic, and the martial quality of this work recalls the strength, nobility, and grandeur of the Polish cavalry. Stephen Watson.
Bachelors of Science, Christopher James Gellin. Robert Finn Gormack. Catherine Patricia Christine Hall. Lachlan John Havel. Andrew John Hawken. Sally Moana Hayes. Carrie Lee Hodges. Samuel Mark Houston. Wen Jing Christy Shu. Bonnie Jennifer Humphrey. Tamsin Brianne Hutchings. Andrew Peter Ireland. Liam Wayne Ireland. Matthew Peter McWaugh Jameson. Nicholas Lance Jessup. Chloe Louise Jones. Victoria Cara Marie King. Matthew Robert Williamson Klomp. Adrian Allen Lambert. Violet Astrid Lawson. Yun Young Lee. Jacqueline Teresita Legaspi. Jonathan Anthony Lewis. Ang Lee. Nicholas James Love. Holly Cherie Luzak. Cameron Alexander McDonald. Greg William Martin. Patrick Jeremy McCartan. Nicholas Oliver McCormick. Kelsey Lee McGillen. Matthew James Milliken. Joshua Robert Moyer. Catherine Lois Moore. Nicholas Barton Mulligan. Karen Nakanashi. Eleanor Charlotte Jardin Newsom. Alex Nicole Nicholson Canning. Callum James Ropata Nicol. Jessica Charlotte Valerie Nugturin. Elisha John Nuttall. Ellen Louise Palmer. Gregory John Parker. Erica Marie Painter. Esperanza Sassafras Pearl. Nikita Basia Peters. Craig Stewart Pickford. Jemima Eunice Malmus Pizarris. Natalie Kate Powell. Paul Patrick Price. Daniel Jonathan Priest. Thomas Jackson Quinn. Miles Richard Rout. Christopher Jordan Sampson. Matthew Thomas Sampson. Lincoln Kurt Sayers. Craig Michael Sheriff. Elliot William Smith. Thomas Nelson Smith. Jacob Archibald Somerton. Stephen Patrick Streeter. Joseph Coman Sutton. Chelsea Page Swan. Brecha Trinka Tacoma. Vitali Vayalua Tolago. Matthew Jack Taylor. Sean Currian Thomas. Simon James Cranko Tither. Mark Ryan Trainer. Helena Elizabeth Trelope. Richard Paul Tull. Scott Nicholas Vandersvet. James Mark Van Dyke. Oscar William Kern Van Hanen. Carol Mary Vergas. Elza Mary Walker. Kate Alexandra Walsh. Gabriel Walter Fang. Jonathan Wang. Jessie Johanna Hanbury Weber Sparrow. Danielle Ashley Welby. Kelly Rebecca Fito. Roshan Gavin Widgetelica. Genevieve Diane Williamson. Thomas Shane Wooten. Shelley Guorying Wu. Melissa Savannah Zaney. Graduate Diploma in Science, Vandana Kermani Vaswani. Bachelor of Speech and Language Pathology with first-class honors and diploma in Spanish language, Amy Michelle Ann Isbister. Bachelors of Speech and Language Pathology with first-class honors, Jackie Lee Anand. Annabelle Nicole Blue. Mary Charlotte Rebecca Brown. Catherine Mary Butler. Molly Rose Dunlop. Annika Margaret Dovestein Ashton. Ashley Ferguson. Jane Rebecca Hawkins. Lydia Jane Keast. Laura Jane Mooney. Kyra Xanthi Sia Jing Portis. Ruth Victoria Maria Price. Rebecca Amy Reese. Larissa May Roy. Nicole Cherie Shea. Laura Charlotte Silcock. Amy Shinziun Tang. Anna Katharina Van Herk. Alexandra Jade Weathersby. Amy Marie Whiteside. Bachelor's of Speech and Language Pathology with second-class honors, Division 1. Alison Madeline Ashby. Ashley Yvonne Cave. Kirsten Louise Dwyer. Antonia Elizabeth Haynes. Connor Megan Kell Hendry. Sukhvir Kaur Thandal. Hester Aveline Van Oort. Bachelor of Speech and Language Pathology with second-class honors, Division 2, John Bain.
Good morning. Professor Maggie Lee Huckabee joined the University of Canterbury as an academic in 2000, having achieved her qualifications in speech pathology from 3 universities in the United States. She gained her undergraduate degree from East Texas State University, her master's degree from the University of Texas, and her PhD from the University of Memphis, having done her clinical research at a hospital in Vienna, Austria. Her research focuses on the clinical dimensions of swallowing pathology, especially in the context of the rehabilitation of stroke patients. Her work is internationally renowned, both academically and clinically, and it is testament to this fact that people travel from around the world to New Zealand, to Christchurch, specifically to be treated by Maggie Lee. Inevitably, their lives are significantly improved as a result of her world-leading treatments based on the technological and clinical innovations resulting from her research. Maggie Lee is Texan, as you will shortly hear from her southern twang, which has worn off a little bit during her time in New Zealand, but not much. As you would expect of a Texan, she does not do things by halves. In 2014, she was awarded the University of Canterbury Innovation Medal in recognition of her development with her team of a new technique for assessing the strength of the cough reflex in unconscious stroke patients. This technique saves lives, it saves distress, and it saves money for our health system. Also in 2014, she was the recipient of a philanthropic donation through the Canterbury Medical Research Foundation of nearly $500,000 by the Rose Family Trust. This unsolicited donation was made by Mrs. Shirley Rose after Maggie Lee treated Mrs. Rose's husband after he had a stroke. This donation has enabled the establishment of the new Rose Centre for Stroke Recovery and Research at St George's Hospital here in Christchurch, and this new centre was opened exactly a week ago today. As a result of the impact of her work, Maggie Lee is a highly sought-after expert advisor to clinicians around the world. Indeed, we are lucky to be able to have her with us today. She arrived back in Christchurch at 2 a.m. this morning, after a week giving two-day clinical workshops to clinicians, first in Melbourne and then in Sydney. And at 2 o'clock this afternoon, she flies out to the United States to continue to share her recent findings. It is my honour and my pleasure to present Associate Professor Maggie Lee Huckabee to give today's graduation address.
Good morning. Tēnā koutou katoa, he Pakiha no America au. He tangata Tiriti hoke au, ko o tautahi takatino kaenga. Nā reira ko e raki te manga, ko waitaki te awa. Tino kotau nā tea ira waka tatia ane I te rangi nei. Nā reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou. I did my best. Thank you. So, to the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellors and Registrar, to certainly all of my colleagues, members of the academic faculty that sit behind me, and most importantly to the graduates out in the audience, their family, whānau, friends. Thank you very much for the privilege of addressing this group of students as they receive their degrees this very important day. Great congratulations to the students for a massive achievement, and you all know much more than the rest of us how much work it's been. And congratulations to their parents for an equally massive achievement for getting them through their graduate or their undergraduate and graduate degrees. I've had several weeks now of fear and nausea at the thought of what I might say this morning. I've racked my mind and my heart trying to come up with some wise words of wisdom that I might be able to gift to you on this day that you leave university. I was advised by a very well-meaning colleague to go to YouTube because all answers in life can be found on YouTube, evidently. So that's what I did. And on searching for commencement speech, I was confronted by talks given by Bono, Oprah, Ellen, Obama, even Dolly was tossed in there, and many, many other people that go just by single names. And I have to say that, as you might understand, that did nothing to ease my anxiety about this, I would say. Several of these people, however, when they were during their commencement addresses, reflected back to the day of their graduation and the commencement speeches they were given, and most of them said they couldn't remember it. So I take a little comfort in that perhaps by next week, this will all be out of your head as you move forward in life. So, I think that the general brief of a commencement address is to provide some sage words of wisdom to guide the graduates of today as they seek out their tomorrows. In this regard, I can't help wondering if the university perhaps made a dreadful mistake, as I certainly feel very poorly qualified to give anybody advice about a life well lived. But I'm going to do my best this morning and hope that at least some words might stick with you today, even if you don't remember them in the morning. I think for most of you undergrads, I think back at the time that I was getting my undergraduate degree. I was absolutely wonderfully terrified at the prospect of what was going to be happening. I remember very well that very giddy excitement of things that were to come around the corner. But I had a plan, and that helped to ease my anxiety. I had a plan that I was going to get a degree in speech-language pathology. I was going to start a clinical career, get married, and have 2.5 children in the next 3.5 years. So I had, at that point in life, no intentions of pursuing an academic career. I had a plan, but it wasn't the plan I wound up with. Shortly after my graduation, I was working a summer job before I began my career as a whitewater kayaking instructor in the heart of a very hot Texas summer. As Wendy's mentioned, I'm from Texas. So 3 weeks before I was to begin my first job, I had a major heat stroke, and I fell from the top of a canoe trailer 4 canoes up. I spent 2 weeks in a coma, 3 months in the hospital, and I spent the subsequent 7 years experiencing very poorly controlled seizures. In short, life following my graduation did not embrace me as I hope it does you. It rather whacked me up the side of the head with unanticipated challenges. Now, I tell you this story, it brings me to, I guess, the best bit of advice that I have to offer you. And that bit of advice is that dreams change. That if that were not true, I clearly would have become the butterfly that I envisioned myself to be when I was 6 years old. And I also might be the clinician that I imagined myself to be when I was 20, when I was your age. Sometimes the changes in your dreams are by choice and are motivated by wonderful new opportunities that embrace you. And I wish wonderful opportunities for all of you. If those opportunities come to you, I hope you're brave enough to accept them and move forward on those. But sometimes changes in your dreams are forced by unexpected and unwelcomed challenges that whack you up the side of the head and make you rethink things. The key is to accept the dreams that you hold now, as nebulous or fixed as they may seem today, that those may not be the dreams that sustain you or enable you to become what you ultimately will be. Clearly, I was not intended to a life as a butterfly, but accept that as I did, and I embraced my new dreams, and in the end, it's a very good thing. When I was the age of those of you that are receiving a master's degree, I was still struggling with the residual effects of brain injury, primarily seizures and residual memory deficits. I managed to stumble my way through my master's degree, although I'm fairly confident that in this particular system I would not have qualified with an honors degree as many of you have here today. I proceeded with a clinical career in health, largely because I have very understanding and supportive employers. But the blessing of the rather tragic events of my 20s is that by going through that experience, it gave me a very clear new goal for my life. And that was that I wanted to understand how a brain breaks, but more importantly, how a brain is healed. And that's led me to my current career. So the dream that I had when I was your age certainly transformed, not through such good events, but it transformed into something that has served me very well. I completed my PhD quite late in life. This is the second career of sorts for me. But now I have a very clear focus for what I want to do. I was very lucky to be offered a position at this university and allowed to explore what I was passionate about. I would not have chosen a brain injury for myself, but it has given me a wonderful career and I'm enormously thankful for what I have. You have all worked with great determination, and probably some days with not so great determination, to reach your dreams of a higher education, and you have been successful in that, so well done. You're to be heartily congratulated for that. I encourage you to open yourself to new opportunities and know that today, this day signals the close of your university education, but it's merely the start of where you're going. If you let yourself be open to the twists and turns in the road, where you're going may not be where you think you're going, that we wind up very interesting places. I was born in East Texas on the wrong side of the tracks, and how I wound up in New Zealand is still a bit of a mystery to me. So I wish all the very best for you all. I hope you can all find careers that you're very passionate about, because I think if you find the job that drives you, it's no longer work, it's just part of life. So best wishes to all of you. Thank you. Thank you.
On behalf of all of us, Maggie Lee, thank you very much indeed for your address today, for your personal and privileged insights into a career, though unintended, one that the University of Canterbury and the people of Christchurch have benefited enormously from. So thank you on our behalf. As we move towards the closure of the formal part of the ceremony, I'd like to say a few other thanks. On behalf of all of our graduates, to the staff of the university, who over the last 3 or 4 years have been challenged by difficult circumstances, not only at work, but also in their personal lives, as the earthquakes created discontinuities and disruptions. The staff of the university have continued to deliver their research and their teaching and the support that has enabled you to succeed today. If you would just join me in thanking all of them. Often I have the privilege of talking to students during their early weeks at the university, those who are in halls of residence, and on occasions have said that the university enters some sort of deal or arrangement with our incoming students, and it goes something like this. We need you to arrive with your curiosity that makes you interested in learning about new and different things. We take on the responsibility for teaching you so that you might master your chosen discipline. And then, as you graduate, we ask that you go forward with courage to make a difference in the world. It's that time now for you, with courage, to go forward, take on those challenges, meet those opportunities, and make the world a different and better place. You join over 100,000 living alumni. Take advantage of those who have an association with this institution. They're spread around the world as well as within New Zealand. They are colleagues. You are joining them. We are proud of you and your achievements. If you would now, in a moment, please stand. We will together sing Gaude Amas, the words of which are in the program and will appear on the screen. I would ask that you remain standing as the stage party leads the graduates from the auditorium. Please stand.